Hey friends, this is Bobby Shanks with Shanks Realty Group.
And Donna Mitchell with Guaranteed Rate Mortgage.
I'm the bad cop.
I'm the good cop.
All right, so on today's episode of Kitchen Talk, we are in the month of October, so that's why we're dressed up as good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
And we're going to fill our episodes this month with some funny, hopefully funny, real estate horror stories.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Yes. All right, before we get to that, tell us about something really cool coming up locally that people might want to know about.
Absolutely. City of Arnold has their big trunk or treat coming up October 23rd. It's going to be held at the Fox C6 School campus.
Yep.
Huge event every year. Tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of candy. They tell the vendors to have more than like 3,000 pieces of candy. Yeah. It's big. It's thousands and thousands of people that come out. It's amazing. It's fun. It's a big community event, which is what we're all about promoting.
Yeah. So just Google. It's Arnold Chamber, right?
Yeah.
So Google Arnold Chamber of Commerce.
Trunk or
treat.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with a spooky Halloween real estate story. What do you got for us?
Okay. I have a question for you because I've had this come up. I have had customers ask me in the past, what is required with disclosures when it comes to selling a home? What does the seller have to talk about if or how somebody maybe passed away in the home? And do they have to disclose anything if they think the house is haunted or have had any ghostly experiences?
Okay. So I may have to brush up on this a little bit, but I actually have a real story to tell once we get past all of the details. Okay. So does someone have to disclose if there is a death in the home? No.
Really?
No, not in the state of Missouri.
What if it was a murder?
Well, hold on.
Okay.
People die of natural causes in homes all the time.
That's
all
true.
The time.
That's true. A lot of people prefer to die in their own home.
And I mean, and here's the thing. Yeah. What if I'm selling a home, I'm listing a home as a listing agent, and that house was built in 1890.
Right.
And it's had 20 homeowners.
Sure.
And in the last 130 years.
Mm-hmm.
Can I expect the person who's selling the home now, who's had it for 20 years, to disclose about someone who died in the home 100 years or got murdered? Right. Nobody knows.
Okay.
Now, I will say this to our audience.
Yes.
You're probably not going to have a whole lot of luck finding out if someone died in the home of natural causes. But here's what I do know, because I have had this happen.
Okay.
Just Google the home's address and look at the news feeds.
Oh.
Because if there was some sort of murder or, shootout.
Scandalous.
Oh, listen here. Okay.
Or ask the neighbors.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just make yourself really obvious as you're walking around the yard, and people like to talk.
Yeah.
Listen to this crazy story.
Okay.
I was in a house a few years ago, and there were holes all over the wall. Like a crazy person had a hammer and just went and knocked holes like all the way down the wall. And there were some in the ceiling and in the floor. And I'm like, this is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Like it was a pattern. It was like every, couple feet.
What was the story?
Drug bust.
Oh.
So the police had a hammer, was knocking holes so that the drug dog could stick their nose in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And now, since that happened.
So does that have to be disclosed?
No.
Wow. Okay.
No. Now let me go a step further. And I'm not going to say the state of Missouri, but with the St. Louis Association of Realtors, all homeowners have the option of filling out a seller's disclosure.
Okay.
It's 5 pages long, and it talks about, has the roof been replaced? Has there been water in the basement? Is there a
leakage, yeah.
sinkhole? Has there ever been methamphetamine production? But nowhere on that seller's disclosure does it say anything about asking the seller who's filling it out
Mm-hmm.
if anyone has ever died in the home,
Yeah.
murdered in the home,
Yeah.
or if it's haunted. Now,
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about this haunted house thing.
Okay. And I think we should put it out to our viewers too, because
Yeah,
like I
definitely.
want to know, like, if you were buying a house and you had a feeling when you were in it, or you had heard that it was haunted,
Wait a minute.
would that be a decision? No,
You hear chains rattling?
Yeah. Would that be a decision maker for you? Like for me, if I walk into a house and a loud voice says like "get out," I'm gonna do that. Like, peace out. Like,
Or if
I'm
it says,
gone.
"Hello, Clarice."
Yeah. That, like, I don't like
Or welcome
spooky
home,
stuff. Yeah, I don't like spooky stuff. So for me, if I like felt a weird vibe or heard any stories like that,
Yeah,
I don't know
Most
that would be
people
the house
would.
for me.
most people would.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to shift gears to talk about something serious.
Okay.
Many years ago, I had a house on the market.
Mm-hmm.
It was already on the market, and it was a family. So 2 parents, 2 kids, locally. And it was a cute little 2-story home in a popular, well-known subdivision. And I don't want to be too graphic here. I just want to make the point. While the home was listed, one of the parents committed suicide.
That's
Well, needless to say, the house went off the market.
sure. They had some other
Um,
things they needed to focus on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me just tell you again, not to be too graphic, but the way that the deceased was discovered
Yeah.
was very graphic and unfortunate and sad. And I don't want to make light of a suicide, because people who watch the show know that like 6 months ago, we actually did an episode where we talked about suicide prevention. We actually posted an 800 number, a website and stuff. So it's a very serious thing. I'm not trying to make light of it that way.
Right.
But in that particular case, because in our discovery and talking with an attorney at that time, a Missouri Real Estate Commission attorney, MREC, because there was no blood-borne pathogens,
Okay.
we did not have to disclose it once the house went back on the market.
Okay. So there are qualifiers in
Mhm.
those kind of situations
Right.
in the real estate world.
Yeah. And however, I will say, just so people don't freak out here, it was very well known.
I'm
Neighbors,
sure it was.
it was towards the early days of social media. It was well known. And the people who bought the house,
Mhm.
I made sure that I told their realtor that this had happened. They didn't care. They wanted the house.
Okay.
So there you go on that topic.
Yeah. Interesting.
Oh.
What else are we going to talk about?
So let's look at the flip side of this.
Yeah.
Okay, good cop and bad cop.
Yes.
Better to err on the side of caution if you're a real estate agent, and most certainly if you're a seller. I mean, frankly, I think you've got more liability as a seller than you do as the realtor representing that seller about known or unknown conditions of the real estate.
My side of the transaction, in my world, we're very transparent. Numbers are what
Absolutely.
they are. So on your side, yeah, and of course, I stay on my side of the street and let you manage your part of it.
Yeah,
as
we're good
well.
like that.
So,
We're
yeah.
good.
Yeah, but that was an interesting topic for me, and I didn't know the answers there. I wasn't sure. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe if you feel it in your gut, like if your conscience is telling you,
I should tell them.
like
I would
if you
wanna
have,
know.
yeah, if you've
If you
got
would
to
wanna know,
pause,
probably someone else would wanna know. Yeah.
yeah, if you got to pause and think about it, yeah, you better disclose it. And here's the thing:
Sleep well at night. Sleep well at night.
I've had sellers
Yeah.
that have told me something and asked me not to disclose it. I've been doing this a long time. I've seen it all.
I know.
Okay.
I know.
And, whether it was water in the basement or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what, I've walked away. I have walked away.
Sure. You have a reputation to protect.
Oh my gosh. And especially in this area, all you have is your reputation.
You always want to do the right thing.
Yeah. It's important to do the right thing.
It is.
So
that's why there are officers and people in the industry and in our community to make sure people are doing the right thing.
Yeah. So next week,
yes.
If we kind of hover around the same topic of real estate horror stories.
Yeah.
I had something interesting happen to me last week.
What was it?
I had someone call me who just completed a real estate home purchase. I was not their realtor.
That's scary in itself.
They had a different realtor.
Yeah.
And this individual gave me a very long story about how she suspected that her realtor and perhaps the listing broker worked together to hide information specifically about major termite damage in a less than 20-year-old home.
That is a scary topic itself.
Ooh, this is why attorneys make big dollars.
Yes.
All right, so
yeah, you want to?
Can I have a donut?
You want a donut?
Do you want one?
I want the chocolate one.
You eat the chocolate. All right, so
yes,
that's it for this week. Cheers. Officer friendly. you do look very officer friendly today.
Oh my goodness. Welcome, Dano.
Welcome. All right, we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching. Happy Halloween. Be safe.
Yes.
Love you, and catch us at the same time next week.
Don't be scared of real estate.